Hello, everybody. What's up? Welcome back to Cooking with Calzone. Today, we're making brownies. Yes, it is dark. It's not as dark as you may think. I mean, this light is not on, but it's because it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I have light coming through. My camera just likes to make it look like I'm a vampire. Um, but even though this looks like I'm about to tell you a horror story that involves like me being in the kitchen, um, we're not going to do that, okay, guys? I'm not going to burn these brownies. These brownies are going to turn out very good. Now, I will say going into this, my cocoa powder is literally like almost non-existent, but I wanted something chocolatey, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to attempt to bake some brownies. We're going to attempt to not burn them like I did the banana bread, and hopefully that works out very well. I don't know how I'm going to do the editing of this video, so, it could get very interesting. But yeah, without further ado, I'm going to get to baking. Hopefully I don't burn them. Hello, everybody. What's up? Welcome back to the play-by-play food edition. It's me, your wonderful host, Editing Calzone. As you can see here, I got to pick a spot. I'm picking this corner. As you can see here, we are cooking brownies. Now, I know, very complex recipe, but I assure you, this is a very simple recipe. In here, we got 10 tablespoons of butter that I've melted in the microwave. We're adding a cup and I believe a fourth of sugar because we're doing, like I said, if you watch me bake, you understand. Baking is your flour, your baking soda, and then you get your sugar butter mixture. With this one, though, we're making brownies, so I needed to add a little cocoa powder, and I didn't have that much to begin with, so I just added the whole rest of that container. It does, if you're wondering why it looks a little wonky, it's because the lighting in this room was not that good. So this turned into some of the most vile looking liquid you could ever imagine. Like, it looks like tar. It looks like I've just got a batch of like straight oil that I'm messing with. Let's see. I mixed this for a good bit because it takes a second. But then we're gonna get here. I'm gonna pull out the flour, the baking soda. I can't remember how much flour. I think it was only a cup and a half of flour. I'm gonna throw that in there. I'm gonna put a teaspoon of baking powder in there. No baking soda actually for once. So yeah, we crack that in there. I get that all combined. I think I'm adding salt. Oh no, this is me setting the oven. We're setting the oven, guys. We got, you gotta make the oven set. I think this one was 325 for the brownies. By the way, off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. I realized I haven't done the eggs. I was letting that mixture kind of cool down so I didn't get scrambled eggs. We're going in with 2 eggs into the brownie batter. And you see that I got the finesse technique where you just so you don't get much egg yolk from the egg in there. But we'll put those in there. I'll hit it with the fork action. This recipe did call for some vanilla extract, but I only had a very small amount and I wanted to save it for the cookies, so I did not put it in there. I don't think you need it. I'm gonna be honest. Don't think you need it. But yeah, there's that vial. It looks rough, guys. It looks like a rough liquid, but I can assure you, was very tasty. Cause I did, you always got to try the spoon after you're done. But here we go. We're gonna mix in. It's very awkward when I mix at this angle, cause it's like, I really should have pulled it closer, but this is a better angle for y'all than what it could be. So my mixing technique is not as good as it could be. But when you're mixing flour, you got to keep hitting that edge, kind of throwing the edge back on without going crazy style. So you don't throw it over the bowl and get it all over the place. But yeah, I mix it pretty thoroughly. Like I said, we go for a bit. The brownie batter looks pretty nice when I'm done with it. Like I said, there you see I'm checking for all the clumps and stuff. We're going to get a big baking pan out. This is bigger than what it called for, but it's the only baking pan I had. I'm going to hit it with a generous sprinkling of oil so it doesn't burn like my other ones did. And then we're going to just get to putting it in there, man. We're going to get to scraping it. I'm trying to get y'all a good angle. I'll be honest, it's real hard to get angles in that kitchen. That's both useful for me and good for y'all visually. But we will scrape it in here. I also think maybe this recipe called for some oil. Didn't have oil, didn't throw oil in it. But I'm just making sure I'm scraping it all out. Eventually I get done with the fork and I decide to get my spatula, because I'm gonna be honest, guys, spatulas are king. I don't know if I showed it off. Yeah, no. But you can see how much batter is still left in that bowl when I decide to get this spatula. And I'm gonna get the spatula in here. I'm gonna do it so I can actually reach it. And I'm going to clean that bowl out. Like every last drop. And you see, yeah, I got that stuff, sucker, cleaned. And then I just sit there and I fiddle with my fork and spatula for a bit, trying to get as much as possible. And then I throw it in the oven. And we let her bake. And I will now pass it on to Cooking Calzone. Hope you enjoyed. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. So I just finished making the brownies. I'm sure you saw me take a bite of them. The recipe said, I guess, you know what? It said easy brownies, okay? I was about to be like, these are not the best brownies I've ever had. I definitely feel like I could have cooked them a little longer to make them a little crispier on the edges. However, I didn't want to burn them. It definitely has come more out like a kind of denser chocolate cake, which I don't hate. It's not bad. But I definitely think I can do better. I also feel like it probably needed a little more cocoa powder. But for a first made from scratch, no boxed brownie mix, it's okay. It's an okay brownie. It's an okay big batch of brownies. Like I said, they're not bad. Not a bad brownie. I would consider this a success. I guess you probably want to see it in this format because you probably skipped to the end of the video to see how it happened. You know, you probably skipped all the way to the end. Get a good grip on this as to not throw it on the ground. Bazinga! You like that? You like the Big Bang Theory? Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Ignore the like 3 dots in the center that look like one of those pizza things you would stick in the middle of a pizza. That was me testing to make sure it was done. Yeah. Like I said, just a big chocolate cake, just a denser chocolate cake. Not bad. I think it's gonna go crazy with some milk. But yeah, guys, that's a success. Not burnt. I actually made a recipe for once. Guys, we're coming back. We gotta redeem ourselves after the banana bread. And I think I've done that at least once. And these cookies, I'm sure are gonna turn out fantastic. They're in the oven. I got 8 minutes before I can record the next video, so without further ado, I'm gonna bounce. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope you enjoyed the little cooking video. Thank you all so much, and I'll see y'all in the next video or tomorrow. You know, I usually say tomorrow, but I'm posting multiple videos this weekend, so